Right now, the internet is examining Tee Grizzly under a microscope, as overnight, he became the prime suspect in the death of a woman very close to him. What was once seen as a case of mistaken identity is now looking like a cold-blooded backdoor, with rapper Tee Grizzly being in the center of it all. Back in 2019, Tee Grizzly barely survived an attempt on his life that left his aunt JB, who was his manager, dead in his place. Grizzly claimed to not know who did it, and the death remained a mystery. But now, new details have emerged that seem to point directly at the last person anyone would have suspected of being behind it: Tee Grizzly. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be diving deep into the mysterious death of Tee Grizzly's aunt. Let's get right into it. Some would say that JB was almost like Tee Grizzly's guardian angel, the woman who quit her job and gave up everything to make him a star when no one else believed in him. JB watched Grizzly go from a nobody to a successful rapper overnight, and it couldn't feel more satisfying for her as she was the only one who supported his dreams in the beginning. While she knew that helping him would end up making him a star, she didn't know that it would end up costing her her life, with the man she sacrificed everything for now being seen as the prime suspect behind her death. This tragic story of success, betrayal, and murder goes back to the start of Tee Grizzly's career. Born Terry Sanchez Wallace Jr., Tee Grizzly grew up in the west side of Detroit, a city plagued by poverty and crime. His mom was in and out of prison. His father was murdered when Tee was still a teen. With no real structure, Grizzly ended up making the same mistakes many misguided youth make, hanging out with the wrong crowd and following a destructive path. Even though Tee ended up in the streets, he still managed to graduate high school and ended up attending Michigan State University, but sadly not for long. In 2014, he was arrested for a string of robberies on campus. Weeks later, he robbed a jewelry store in Kentucky that got him hit with a sentence of up to 15 years. But in 2016, he got out early, and what he did next would change everything. He wasted no time. On the same day he was released, October 16, 2016, he recorded First Day Out, a raw emotional track about pain, betrayal, and survival. Within weeks, the song went viral. It was so viral that even LeBron James posted a workout video to it. It didn't take long for the labels to come calling. A deal with 300 Entertainment was quickly signed. Tee Grizzly became the new face of Detroit rap. But behind all of it was Jobina Brown, known to family and friends as JB. She was more than an aunt. She was Tee's biggest supporter. When he got locked up, JB was there. When he came home, it was JB who paid for his music video. She signed him and funded his dreams when no one else would. She believed in his talent before he had any fans. She left her job, put her life on hold, and became his full-time manager. JB wasn't just family. She was the reason Tee Grizzly became who he is. Sadly, her association with Tee Grizzly would lead to the end of her life. On August 20th, 2019, Tee Grizzly, his driver, and JB were riding in a Cadillac Escalade. Around 9 p.m., they parked near the 1900 block of West McNichols Road to stop at a house occupied by Tee Grizzly's family. According to Tee Grizzly, JB decided to stay in the car, refusing to enter the house, calling it dirty. Tee Grizzly then stepped out of the vehicle and walked up to the house. Within seconds of stepping out of the car, an unknown man approached the vehicle. No words, no warning. He opened fire, striking JB, who was sitting in the back seat. She was struck multiple times. She was then rushed to the hospital, but sadly, she didn't survive, passing away from her injuries at the age of 41. At first, there wasn't much information on why this happened. The gunman walked away and disappeared, never to be seen again. No arrests, no leads. It was looking like this was going to be another cold case. JB's family and friends were left grieving with no resolution or explanation. A good woman lost her life and nobody knew why. At the center of it all was Tee Grizzly, who not only lost his close aunt, but his manager and his day one supporter, the only one who believed in him in the beginning. While initially Grizzly remained rather silent about the situation, a month later he released a song where he addressed it all. The song was called Status, named after JB's middle name. In the song, he implied that the hit wasn't supposed to be for his aunt, but for him. Rapping in the song, "Look how they try to do me, but got JB. You saw it wasn't me and still shot. What'd she do to you? In the track, he seemed to mourn the death of his aunt. He goes as far as to promise to get revenge for her. He even went on to offer $1 million bounty for whoever got rid of who did that to her. The song was basically what you would expect from a street rapper who lost a loved one to street beef. A hurt man promising to get his get back and further incriminating himself. Tee Grizzly was left looking for answers, and it seemed he might never get them. Sometime later, he would end up doing an interview where he spoke about the situation and how she was killed. Tee confidently claimed that whoever did this was trying to get him, claiming that he heard it all go down from the house and ran outside to check what happened. He even claims he spoke to his aunt on the phone before she passed away.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever. And I'm going to my cousin's house, my older cousin. He was real close with my pops, just like my pop's brother. And I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she's like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain areas, you just can't, you got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I could go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But I got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She's like, no. Because JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses and stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she just a clean, real clean person. It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So I'm knocking on the door. My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying? And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie, she about to open the door. I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. You know what I'm saying?
Behind you.
Behind me, I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time. My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in the, so what was the vehicle? She was in the car? Like,
yeah, she was in the car. She was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on and to, if somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. So once we got outside, once we got in the front where they was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you. So, was you had to enter through the back door or something?
Yeah, I was
side door. Okay, I get you. Okay.
But basically, I don't even know what's going on at this point.
Okay.
So we in the front, I look in the street. I don't see no glass in the street, so I'm like, oh, they straight. You know what I'm saying? That's probably some. I didn't even think this had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
But my cousin still came out there with a gun though, so I was cool with going out there. I'm like, I ain't see no glass in the street. I'm thinking they heard some shots and pulled off.
Okay.
So now I'm mad now. Like, y'all heard them shots, why would y'all leave me over here?
Right.
You feel me? You could at least call me and told me, like, it's too much going on over here. Come on, we gone. You know what I'm saying? Then my driver ended up calling me, like, and told me what happened. So basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas opened my door trying to get at me. Ended up hitting her up.
Where'd they hit her on the body?
They hit her on, like, on her side and in her arm. She didn't get hit her face and just all on her side. You feel me?
How many times?
On the side where her heart at.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, on the side like where her heart at, too. So she got shot like that before a long time ago with my uncle.
Okay.
His car got shot up, and she got hit in the exact same place, but she lived. You know what I'm saying? Because she went straight to the hospital.
Okay.
My uncle drove straight to the hospital as soon as it happened. But
was she alive when did she die on the scene or the hospital?
I don't even, I think that, no, she died at the hospital. She was still alive. She was still breathing and everything. She called me.
She called you?
While she was shot, she called me.
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying.
Oh.
She couldn't really form no words. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I mean, for me, because they opened my door.
Okay.
They were shooting in the car. They hit her 8 times, though.
And you have no idea where this came from?
No, I ain't got no idea where it came from. But it ain't even matter where it came from. I felt like everybody was a suspect.
As you heard for yourself, Grizzly claims that he doesn't know who did it, but he knows for sure that it was a hitman for him. Though it was such a tragedy, Tee Grizzly eventually found a way to continue his career in his life without his aunt around, continuing his life in the best way he could without her. While Grizzly seemed to move on, JB's other family members couldn't let it go and wanted answers. Answers they finally seemed to have gotten just a few days back when the alleged killer was finally identified. In July 2025, nearly 6 years after the murder, police finally made an arrest. A man known as Wu-Tang or Wu-600, who is reportedly affiliated with Chicago's 600 gang, was arrested and charged with the death of JB. Wu-Tang is deeply connected to Chicago's drill scene and has associations with artists like Booka 600, Little Durk, and others from the Chicago drill scene. When Wu-Tang was arrested, he was caught standing by the stolen rental used as the getaway vehicle in the murder of JB. He also had a gun that matched the suspected gun used in the hit as well. Wu-Tang, knowing how bad this was, tried to make a run for it but was unsuccessful, and he was taken into custody. Recently, it was even revealed in court that the prosecution has cell phone tower data that pinpoints Wu-Tang's phone location on the day of the shooting, with the location data indicating his phone was in the same location JB was killed, with records indicating he was there for over 2 hours waiting for their arrival. Now, this Wu 600's involvement in all of this left people with the question of why. Why would a gang member from Chicago be the man responsible for the death of Tee Grizzly's aunt in Detroit? It just made no sense. What was the connection between Wu-Tang and JB? Well, this is when things take a sharp turn and the spotlight is put on Tee Grizzly. See, over the years, Tee Grizzly managed to make connections with a few rappers in the Chicago drill scene. Rappers like Lil Durk and one by the name of Booka 600. Grizzly seemed to be rather close to Booka 600, not only making songs with him, but having a personal close friendship. Booka 600 was even invited to Grizzly's wedding, where he was one of his groomsmen. This is all important because Booka 600 is a part of a violent, infamous Chicago gang called 600, which just so happens to be the same gang JB's killer Wu 600 or Wu-Tang is a part of. Now this seems to be the only connection between Tee Grizzly and JB's killer Wu-Tang. So it's simple, right? Tee Grizzly at some point must have started beefing with Booka 600 and the 600 gang, with Wu-Tang being sent in to take out Grizzly's aunt. But after looking into that wasn't the case, because even after his aunt died, Tee Grizzly has remained close friends to Booka 600, calling him his brother on social media and still doing songs with him. In fact, Grizzly kept on hanging out with Booka 600 even after people started spreading the rumor that Wu 600 killed his aunt. When fans and internet detectives saw this, they started to re-examine everything, and Tee Grizzly started looking more and more guilty. People started analyzing his story of what happened that night, claiming the killer only took out his aunt because he wasn't in the car. But now we know the killer was waiting there for 2 hours before Grizzly and JB arrived at the location, which means the killer would have seen Grizzly get out of the car and would have had an opportunity to get him. Grizzly is a very big dude. It's hard to believe this man would have missed him walking out of the car. Either he's blind or he wasn't there to kill Tee Grizzly. People also started pointing out the story Tee Grizzly gave, where he confidently claims the hit was meant for him, not for his aunt, but then claims to have no idea who was behind it. How do you know the hit was meant for you, but you don't know who did it? People also point at the lyrics to the tribute song to his aunt, where he promises retaliation and offers a $1 million bounty. If he were really planning on getting revenge, why would he advertise it and document it on a song? It made no sense. It was like he wanted to appear like he was the most heard about it all. People also bring up the video of him telling the story during the interview. Tee Grizzly seems really uninterested answering questions about the death of his aunt. Instead of giving the conversation the respect and attention it required when talking about the death of a loved one, Tee Grizzly answered questions while playing Call of Duty. All of this made Tee Grizzly look rather suspicious. So now people started asking the question, was JB mistaken for someone else? Or was this a hit on her set up by Tee Grizzly himself? This left people questioning Tee Grizzly's close association with Booka 600 and the 600 gang, looking into the disturbing possibility that Tee Grizzly could have approached his Chicago friends known for their violent ways to eliminate his own aunt. But why? Why would Tee Grizzly want to get rid of his aunt? Well, it could all be connected to the root of all evil, the love of money. Remember, JB wasn't just Grizzly's aunt, she was also his manager and had him under a recording contract. JB was who initially funded Grizzly's career. She owned part of his brand. She was making money off every dollar Tee Grizzly made in music, which back then was a lot of money. She reportedly controlled a major portion of Tee's business. She could have easily had a massive split in his recording contracts, even owning some of his publishing rights and royalties. With her gone, Tee Grizzly gains full control and cut her out of the profits. When you add that to the fact that it took 6 years to name a suspect, and the suspect is from a city Grizzly had ties to and was also a part of a gang he's friends with, people start asking the question, did Tee Grizzly set this up? Is he the missing key in solving this mystery? Right now, Wu 600 is in custody and he is being charged with JB's death. Detroit police say they're building their case, with everyone waiting to see what comes out of this. While as of right now we don't have the answers, I will say Tee Grizzly is looking rather suspicious. He recently came out and vaguely denied the allegations, telling people not to believe everything they see on the internet.
That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the internet?
But in this case, it's pretty hard when the evidence seems to point a big arrow in his direction. We know the music industry is dark and is known for its evil ways. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Tee Grizzly is truly behind this all. One thing that seems clear, JB didn't deserve this, especially not by the hands of a man she was willing to sacrifice everything for. JB was more than an aunt and a manager to Tee Grizzly. She was the heart of his story. Her death was tragic, but was it more than a case of mistaken identity? Was she really caught in the crossfires, or was she sacrificed for the love of greed? JB deserves justice for her family, and so her soul can truly rest in peace. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.